In today's video, I'm going to explain the perks that you can get for the companions that will be available with the Age of Heroes once we get it to the live version of the game. This is all filmed on the public test beta, so keep that in mind. Some of this is subject to change, although I doubt anything that I'm going to show in this video will change. Now, there is no way for me to show you this in its entirety without some spoilers, so there are some spoilers that are going to be in this video. If you don't want to see spoilers, slap a like on this video, put it in your watch later list. That way, once you've experienced the interactions, if you need help, you can come back to this video and I'll guide you on how to get specific perks for each one of these characters. Each one of the new companions has a total of 6 possible perks, so you are able to get 3 of them at the same time, and you can mix and match these depending on how you go through their different quest lines. Now, I will display the 2 different optional perks side by side. You will only be able to acquire one of these perks at a time. You will not be able to get 2 of the same slot perks on a single character. So when I'm showing these 2 perks, you need to decide between the 2 as to which one you'd like to chase first. Quests are entirely repeatable, so you can go back and get a different version or a different build at a later date. And I will have guides for each of the quests for each of the companions to walk you through those quests in their entirety in the future. So make sure that you're subscribed to the channel so you don't miss out on those. For those of you that don't mind spoilers, we're going to jump into Freya's list of perks first and then Liu Fei after that. But first, a quick message from the sponsor of today's video. Today's sponsor is GFuel, the official energy drink of esports. GFuel is specially formulated with gamers and gaming in mind to help boost energy, focus, endurance, and reaction time. Best of all, there's no sugar and it's gluten-free. It's natural, clean, vitamin and antioxidant fortified energy. There are over 40 flavors to choose from between ready mix powders and ready to consume cans. If you're not sure what to get, check out these starter kits, which come with 7 different flavor packs. My favorite is the glow in the dark shaker for those late night gaming sessions. Visit gfuel.com and use promo code WAC4863 at checkout to receive a 20% discount on your purchase. The first set of perks that we're going to talk about are Resolute and Carnage. So for Resolute, Freya could not deal the most damage during the trophy hunt, but she fought through the pain. Her determination gained her additional strength and vitality, buffing her strength and vitality by 15 points. The opposite perk of that is Carnage. Freya dealt the most damage while hunting trophy animals. Her attacks now cause enemies to bleed. Attacking a bleeding enemy provides a small heal to the warrior. If you want to get Resolute as a perk for Freya, you need to make sure that while you are on the trophy hunt, you are dealing the most possible damage to the enemies that you need to go and fight. Make sure you're doing more damage than she's doing. This is very easy to accomplish because, like any other follower, Freya is going to be slower than you are in approaching and engaging with these fights. So as long as you're running into the battle and getting the first swings off and even killing the enemy before she can engage, you're going to get this perk. Now, Carnage is just as easy to get. Freya dealt the most damage while hunting trophy animals. So while you are on the trophy animal hunt, what you want to do is just hang back and allow Freya to do all the attacks on the enemies. I've done this multiple times and she is able to handle all of the enemies that you're going to go out and fight by herself. So you don't need to be involved with those fights. I do recommend, if you're going to go out and go after Carnage, maybe you take a shield so that you can block attacks while she's fighting, or you could use sorcery to make yourself invisible and run around to the locations where these trophy hunts are, and then she will do all the fighting and you will be invisible. The next 2 perks that we're going to look at are Savage Swings and Unrelenting. For Savage Swings, Freya slaughtered her demons at the Volcanic Forge. Her attacks can no longer be blocked. And then for Unrelenting, Freya was defeated at the volcanic forge, but had the tenacity to bring herself back to her feet. Upon reaching 30% health, Freya will become invulnerable for 5 seconds. So if you want to get savage swings for Freya, you want to make sure that you're actively involved with this fight. It doesn't matter whether you're dealing the damage or she's dealing the damage in this interaction. What matters is that her health doesn't get too low to the point where she has given up. Around 400 hit points is going to be the break point for her to give up. Now, in my opinion, this is the easier of the two perks to get. If you are involved at all, you're going to be able to help her do this very easily. And even when you're not involved, I have seen Freya handle those demons all by herself. Unrelenting is definitely the harder perk to get because you have to make sure that Freya actually goes down in battle. She has to get to around 400 hit points to be considered down. So you're really relying on the AI on both sides to kind of stagger Freya so that she's not attacking long enough for the demons to get her health points down to around 400. I found that the best way to do this is to stay right up next to the forge and allow the demons to run into that forge area and hope that between her being stuck on the forge and the demon attacks that she gets kind of stun locked in that area to where they can just continue to attack her. The last perk options that you have for Freya are Bloodbath or Knocked Loose. Freya's possession was broken by deadly strikes during the final encounter. Killing an enemy in battle rejuvenates Freya, healing her. And then Knocked Loose, Freya's possession was broken by a concussive blow during the final encounter. Learning from the experience, her attacks bypass an additional 20% of armor and stagger enemies longer. Now, if you want to obtain Bloodbath for Freya, during the final battle you will have to fight Freya, and you simply need to use a deadly weapon during that battle. Then, if you want Knocked Loose, during that same battle, you're going to use a concussive weapon instead to defeat her. Jumping over to Liu Fei, we have two perks here, Legacy of Corruption and Corrupting Curse. Legacy of Corruption. Following in Liu Fei's footsteps, his pupil wields sorcery without hesitation. His presence corrupts you, but dealing damage transfers it to your target and heals you. Corrupting Curse. Sorcery went unused after delivering sacrificial blood. Liu Fei's attacks may curse enemies, weakening them, dealing damage over time, and draining corruption from anyone nearby. In order to get Legacy of Corruption, there's a point in the questline where Liu Fei is going to have you go and get 4 different items. I'm not going to tell you what those items are in this video, watch my other guides for that. But when you go to get those items, you need to engage in sorcery during that section of the quest line. You have 8 hours in between quests, so there's plenty of time to get that done. But you do, however, need to use sorcery of any kind during that section of the quest in order to unlock this perk. Alternatively, if you want to unlock Corrupting Curse during that section of time, you need to make sure you don't engage in any sorcery whatsoever until you complete that task. Not engaging in sorcery during that period of time will unlock Corrupting Curse. The next set of perks is Phantasmal Simulacrum and Regenerative Stasis. For Phantasmal Simulacrum, Liu Fei's secret technique was not recovered along with his research. Liu Fei projects a mirror mark to distract enemies. For Regenerative Stasis, Liu Fei's secret technique was discovered with his research. Liu Fei may become encased in a protective barrier that rapidly mends his wounds. One of the quests will send you to find Liu Fei's research. You need to find 5 pages of research. If you want Regenerative Stasis, you need to interact with the placeable that I have on screen right now when you are retrieving the research. If instead you want Phantasmal Simulacrum, you don't want to interact with this placeable when you are getting the research. The last 2 perk options are Demonic Presence or Eternal Servitude. For Demonic Presence, the Yothka plant ritual was not interrupted. Now a toxic cloud of miasma follows Liu Fei, harming those who are not conditioned to its effects. And then for Eternal Servitude, the Yatka plant ritual was interrupted. A spirit has been trapped inside a foul imp, which Liu Fei may now summon for aid in combat. Both of these perks are unlocked during the final quest for Liu Fei. When you do the final quest, you are going to initiate a ritual. You have a choice between two different ingredients to engage in the ritual. If you choose the Devil's Bone Meal in order to engage in this ritual, you will receive demonic presence. If instead you want to unlock Eternal Servitude, simply choose the Black Lotus recipe in order to engage in this ritual. Now, I told you earlier on that I will be making more guides for companions and the Age of Heroes altogether, but I want to know in the comment section below, what questions do you have about the Age of Heroes, the companions, the questing? Your comment may spark an idea for a future video. I'd like to thank all my YouTube members for your continued support. Y'all are absolute legends. Don't forget to whack the like button if you enjoyed the video and subscribe for more content. And if you don't want to be out of whack, there's another video on the screen right now that you can click to support more of my content.